I want to talk about two things that I love and how I came to love them, and it touches on the things that people have spoken about before: inspiration, appreciation, and inspiring others. And these are about two individuals who affected my life in a very deep, meaningful way that I never got a chance to tell them thank you. You know, they inspired me and I never had a chance to tell them thank you. And I regret that now, and if I had a chance to meet them, I would say that they really just affected my life in a truly deep way. And the first person was this man, Mr. Malone. He was my second grade teacher in this small town, Canyon Country, which Ian happens to be aware of, grew up near. And it was Holmby Elementary School, 1982. I was in second grade, and Mr. Malone was very ahead of his time. He had a computer lab set up at the school with TRS-80 Radio Shack computers. And he would teach us how to program in BASIC. And for me, like, immigrant child, like the first speaker Neil was talking about, everything is new. You come to the United States, like I didn't have lasagna until I was in 9th grade. I ate it and I was like, holy crap, what is this? I love this. I went to my mom, I was like, Mom, there's this thing called lasagna. I think you can get it at the store. So she got like 12 of them, and I ate nothing but lasagna for like 4 months. 15 pounds, and that was my like Garfield days. So Mr. Malone taught me about computers, and while in the middle of my second grade year, I broke my leg, and they found out that I had a bone cyst, a very rare bone cyst. So I spent 6 weeks in a full body cast, and then about a year further in a leg brace, and I had to have surgery. And it was very unlikely that I was going to be able to walk, because they thought they were going to have to take a bone from my hip and put it into my leg and everything else. But this doctor that my mom found at UCLA was a world-class orthopedic oncologist, and everything was okay. And I still had this vivid memory of being in 3rd grade, trying to figure out how to run, you know, because it'd been a year and a half since I ran. And I was with my leg brace, and I was thinking, it's kind of like fast walking, you know? And I was like, I remember like spending an hour out in the playground trying to figure out how to run, eventually figured out how to run. And that thing with Mr. Malone with the computers kind of started off a bunch of different things. One was the computers, the other was the love of reading, because Mr. Malone had this habit every day, coming in from lunch, he'd have to try to calm us down. So he's like, put your head down on the desk, and I'm going to read to you stories by Roald Dahl. So he would start with Fantastic Mr. Fox, James and the Giant Peach, and I was not happy with how far he got every day, because I wanted to know what happened next. So I cheated. I went to the public library, I got the books, and that was the first time I really kind of got a love of reading, was just being ahead of the class. I was like, I know what's going to happen next. I think Mr. Fox is going to do this. And all the kids would be like, wow, he's so smart. I was like, that's not happening. So, got a love of reading, got this thing with technology. And after this school, I went to this, transferred to this other school called Santa Cruz Christian School. Ian, I don't know if you're aware. It was a church compound. We had classes in a trailer, and my graduating class was like 12 people. It was an unaccredited high school. But the one great thing was it gave me an opportunity to do a lot of things that I would not have otherwise been able to do. And today commemorates the start of the NBA playoffs, which is my second love in life, which is basketball. And we had the great fortune to have this basketball coach, Delano Robinson, who grew up in inner city Chicago, and he was on the high school basketball team that won the city championship with Mark Aguirre, who's now in the Hall of Fame. And Coach Robinson would always tell us a story about being ready, because he said his story was a minute left in the championship game, and the starting point guard files out. And the coach looks down the bench and says, Delano, get in the game. So Delano goes in the game, gets fouled, team's down by 1. So I was talking about the importance of free throw routine. So he says, so I sat there, dribbled the ball, shot 1, in, game tied. Got the ball back again, shot again, 1 point up, we win the championship, everything's good. So Delano then went to a Southern Christian Bible college, and where he met his wife. And they came to our school when he was doing seminary school. And his wife took over the cheerleading squad. And she was, you know, she had these white suburban girls from Canyon Country doing like things like Southern like cheerleaders, like it was just crazy. And Delano was 5'6", and he could dunk a basketball like Spud Webb. So when he appeared, we were a bunch of 8th graders, we were just in awe of this man. We thought like, wow, like he can dunk the ball, like he's amazing. And we were clueless. We were like the bad news bears, like throwing balls out of bounds. Like we would literally have games where it would, final score would be like 50-8. Like this was how bad it was. And our team was, I was 4'5" at the time. My friends were, because I was quite short, my friends were like 5'3", 5'4". So from 8th, 9th grade, we would just get killed every single year. And coach come with a suit, suspenders, jump up on the sidelines like it was the most important game of the year. And God bless him, like he just tried to work with us, ran us, worked us. And luckily we got a growth spurt. All of us grew a foot. So I hit 5'5". My friends went from 5'5" to 6'5". So we had a starting line of 6'5", 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", and then me, right? So there's this one team in particular, John Jenkins University, High School. And there were about 800 students, and they were down in the valley, and they would destroy us every year. Like we'd get on the court, and they would just not beat us, they would humiliate us every single year. And we hated these guys. And in my junior year, we got much better, and we ran to them in the final game, championship game. And we're in this small little auditorium, and the place is going crazy, and we're down by 1 point. And our starting point guard, who's a senior, drives, makes a basket, gets fouled with a few seconds left, he hits a free throw, and we win, right? And we're just going crazy. We beat John Jenkins, we're so like proud. This team that we hated so much, we finally beat them. And next year we repeated. But it wasn't just about what he did for us on the court. It was like he schooled us about life. You know, he taught us about like how he grew up in the inner city Chicago, what basketball meant for him. And he would take us to things like Clipper games or Laker games, and he had this big old Cadillac, right, that he would drive. And there was like 7 of us shoved in this car, and we'd be throwing gang signs out the window, and he'd be like, "What are you doing? Stop that! Are you trying to get us killed?" You know? And you know, he would take us over to his house for March Madness, and you know, tell us about the game, and he had a picture of Martin Luther King Jr. up on the wall, and he was a very good man, very generous man. Looking back on it now, with both Mr. Malone and with Coach Robinson, very atypical men who gave a lot. Like, why would you spend all this time with a bunch of clueless kids teaching them how to play basketball and teaching them about life? You know, why would you be someone at this rural school with 50,000 people setting up a computer lab? You know, why would you do this and teaching them how to program in BASIC? And from these people, like, my love of basketball continues to this day. You know, like I have the NBA playoffs on DVR, recorded right now. You know? And you know, with the computers, I'm doing technology stuff, and it's something that I've continued to do my entire life. And it would not have been possible if it weren't for these 2 gentlemen, and very unlikely gentlemen in my community. And unfortunately, I never got the chance to tell them thank you. You know, so if somehow this video gets to them, or if somehow, you know, I had a chance to meet them again, I would love to tell them thank you and to tell them what their contribution in my life have resulted in. You know? So I would just say, you can not only be a person to inspire other people, but when people have inspired you, always take the opportunity to thank them when you can, while you're able to, because you never know when you're going to have that opportunity again. Thank you.